the image that we'd like to engrave downloaded on our desktop, we're ready to transfer this image into the laser engraver program. Before we can do that though, we need to decide how big we want the image to be. So I am going to be engraving on this side of the pencil box. So I want my engraving to totally cover this side of the box. Sometimes though, we're going to be engraving on like a skateboard, say, and you'll have your whole skateboard, right? And you just want to engrave, say, a space in the middle. Pretend this is a 6" by 6" space. You need to figure out the size that you want to engrave on. Okay, so in this case, I'd be making an engraving that's 6" by 6". But in this case, like I said, I want to cover this pencil box. So to do that, I'm going to have to determine the size of the pencil box.
So to do this, you're going to need a pencil, you're going to want a straight edge like this, and then you're going to need a tape measure. You also need like a piece of scratch paper or a scrap piece of wood where you can write some dimensions down.
First of all, I'm going to measure the object that I want to engrave. So this pencil box is 8 1/4 by 2 3/4. So what I want you to do is write down that dimension, and I want you to write it as a decimal, 8.25, okay? And I'm gonna write down 2.75. Okay, so we've got 8.25 by 2.75. If I were doing a skateboard, I'd write down 6 and 6. Now what you need to do is turn your measurement, which you made in inches, into a measurement in millimeters, because the program that we're using doesn't use inches. Instead, it uses millimeters. So to do this, you need to multiply the number of inches by 25.5, because 1 inch is equal to 25.5 millimeters.
So I'm going to do 8.25 times 25.5. I'm going to do the same thing, 2 3/4 by 25.5. And those are going to give me the dimensions that we're going to use in our engraver program. Okay, to do this, I'm just going to use a calculator. I'm going to go 8.25 times 25.5 equals 210.3. So I'm just going to write down 210. 2.75 times 25.5. Okay, and that gives me 70.125. So I'm just going to go 70.
So what that means is this pencil box right here is 210 millimeters by 70 millimeters. That's really important, so you want to get that written down. Once you've done that, what I want you to do is take your straight edge, and with your straight edge, you're going to make an X, a really, really light X. You're not going to push down hard at all. Super light X right in the middle of the object that you want to engrave.
So again, if this were the skateboard, I would be making an X right in the middle of the space I'd want to engrave. But you go from corner to corner and you're going to make an X.
So I now have an X in the middle, and I've got the dimensions here of the pencil box. Once you've done this, then you're ready to open up the laser engraver program.